You bring me joy. My joy. My joy. You love you like love you like the sea. You're the baddest thing I've seen. Lord, you bring me joy. My joy. You can't tell me this Anita girl. Let me tell you, yes. Girl, you couldn't tell me nothing about it. Girl, yes. Thank you, baby. I love Anita Baker, child. You know what's crazy? I recently got into her, like maybe when they had I've been to of her. Child, where's my comb, bitch? I'm over here looking like a rugrat. Just for you. In my arms, where you should be. I love you and I need you, baby. You let my love not free. I want you in my life for all time. Nothing else can compare. Side by side, we heart passes by. Like my words say tonight, just a song. Oh, nothing can bind me, baby. You let my love fly. I want you in my life for all time. Hello, everybody in the chat. Caught up in luxury. Nothing else can compare. We always share to the God that nurture you. God that nurture you. Spread me away, but now I'm lost in the dark. I'll be right back. I'm going to get some water. Beyond the haze, and I'm lost inside the maze. I guess I'm all alone in love. I look into your eyes. Yes. This is one of my favorite Mariah Carey songs, honey. It's all a game you play. I hold you in the night and wait to find you gone. You're running out of time. It's all I'm living on. All alone in love. Swept me away, but now I'm lost in the dark. Swept me on fire, but now I'm lost with a storm. I'm lost inside the maze. All alone in love. Only in my dreams, I'm calling out your name. I watch you fade away from my loving hand. To quickly drift apart. You held me for a while. Love. Sitting in the dark without you. Listen to this, bitch. Listen. Oh, baby. Alone in the dark without you. I was to the light. Oh, bitch. Okay. Bitch, she about to throw it on y'all ass. Yes. On cassette. Hello, everybody in the chat. I'm not neglecting y'all. I'm just kicking the shit real quick, trying to lower my blood pressure. Okay. If you only knew, I'm trying to lower my fucking blood pressure, guys. They say music will soothe your motherfucking blood pressure, bitch. Okay. Yes, God, honey. Hello, everyone. What's up, Belize? How you doing, little baby? What's tea? Giving you the real tea. What's the up, honey? Yes, honey. Yes. Abby, what's the tea? Stephanie Blackman, good afternoon, honey. Yes, the Nina Baby.
Girl, why did that man get drunk as a skunk last night knowing that we supposed to be having this interview today? I'm starting to think it's something fishy going on around there.
Let me tell you, I would be remiss, and just let you, we are live, by the way. So, but I don't, I'm going to say how I feel. I would be remiss not to think the same way because I understand things happen. I do. I'm not one to believe in coincidence too much either. I do have a fiercely set kind of mind frame.
Right.
The Illuminati is out here, girl, trying to block it all. But you know what? This is my thing. I'm just gonna keep it real on the stage of on the stage of professionalism. And this is no dig. This is no shade. This is just how you live life. Period.
Right.
I understand that no one gets paid for these interviews. My platform, I have right under 500 subscribers. I don't expect, and I hope no one else expects that this may not get them far. You know what I'm saying? But if you say you're going to do something, I do kind of expect you to stick by it.
Right.
And if you see that something's happening, I understand emergencies happen, but try to give at least much better notice if possible. Because when things like this happen, it's just like, okay, I know it's not real business, but you agreed to do something at the end of the day. So it really has nothing to do with me or my platform. It's just more so less like stand by what you say you're going to do. And if you can't do it, then give far ahead enough notice if possible.
I'm starting to think it's one of them hoes behind them cameras, them producers, seeing our reviews and seeing how all of them coincide with each other. And they're just like, nah, don't talk to them. Don't give no type of interview. This, that, and this. Because you're right. Like, first it was Trey Howard. Now it's him. It's just something in the milk ain't clean. It's not.
Because in my other mind, because I'm a crazy hoe and I got multiple personalities. Like George has multiple streams of income, I have multiple personalities.
Okay. Yeah.
So I truly believe sometimes that at the last minute, was this concocted? And forgive me, Trey Howard, and forgive me, Premier, if you are watching this. It's just like you would put yourself in my shoes. Okay, set up the interview and then cancel at the last minute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope it's not that way.
And me too.
You ready, boo? Okay. You got me onto that, Teddy, when I was watching your videos. I said, I need to start doing it because I'll just be clicking people in and not knowing if they ready or not.
You got to ask the people, are they ready, honey?
Yeah, because I just be clicking people in. You had me dying. Let me tell you something. I was at work, right?
Uh-huh.
Bitch, I was dead watching y'all's video last night. I was gone.
We really did.
We had a ball.
I don't comment that much, but I was through the first 30 minutes of it. Y'all, Teddy, your drunk ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start the process now. Let's start that process now.
Again, child.
Don't get me started. My boyfriend already pissed me off.
Well, I understand though, because you work in the education system, so you definitely need to have a few drinks on when you're off.
Okay. Yeah. I had to go get my Trey Womack piece put in.
The shade of it all. The shade of it all.
Now I would have got a haircut.
Bitch.
Girl.
I'm through.
Your mama had to go get that piece, that Bosley's piece put in, ain't it?
That old school commercial. Come to Bosley.
I'm not only a president, I'm also a client.
Okay.
Like that old school right there. I'm not only the president, but I'm also a client.
Hello. Child. No. We were just talking about the girls canceling.
Child, girl, child.
And And like we say before, I'm always going to say this. I understand things happen, but at this juncture, I've already interviewed a bunch of motherfuckers, and I'm not even going to try. And again, I'm not pressed. I don't feel no type of way about it. It's just at the end of the day, professional. If you would have told me this a few hours back, then I would have been like, okay, girl, there's no problem. But at the end of the day, it's like, and I did let him know that I was like, I just DM'd him, and I was like, okay, well, I get it, but like, it's very, very last minute, like. But okay, we'll try to reschedule. But I'm not going to push the issues no more further with anybody because if you want to come on, you come on. Public service announcement. If you want to come on, you just let me know you want to come on.
You knew you had a headache when you woke up this morning, motherfucker. So let's not go there. That should have been the first thing you hit me up with. Like, look, I got a drunk night. I don't feel good. This, that, and this. I'll keep you updated. I'll keep you posted. And then if you still didn't feel bad, I would have made an allowance for that. But if you wait all of this time to want to say something,
like
I'm sorry.
Literally less than an hour before the interview.
Yeah.
Actually,
it was exactly because I messaged him at 4:34 Eastern Standard Time. I had just woke up, and I hit him up. I said, "Hey, we're going on in less than 30 minutes. Just making sure we're still good." And then he hit me up at 5:45.
Child, I'm over here praying. Can y'all say a prayer for Oprah? Did y'all see that woman fall? Girl,
what happened?
Girl, let me send this to y'all in Instagram, honey. Girl, I was scared for Oprah. Girl.
That's Oprah. God's work, honey.
Oprah is falling around here, honey. And y'all can't be doing Mama Oprah like that, honey.
You know what they say you may not get your misdeeds now, but you'll get your misdeeds later.
It wasn't no play fall. No, it was a real fall. Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Shit, they probably over there make a
fall or a Wendy Wendell fall.
I was just about.
I just sent it to you, honey. I was like, oh, because when you see, you be like, oh.
Yeah. Just an idea, because you're going to be defining it for yourself. Wellness to me means all things in balance. And balance doesn't mean all things are equal or at peace at all times.
What the hell did she trip over?
Nothing. It's a shoe.
You have to name it to claim it. So
let me tell you what happened. I guarantee you, they trying to make up with Snoop Dogg. He done got them hoes high as hell.
Nothing on the stage. Nothing is on the stage. Nothing. Baby, that was a hard fall. Like, she might need to go get her wrist looked at. Because that wasn't no play fall, baby. You fell.
And she ain't have on no real heels. It looked like she had on wedges.
What did you mean by this, Monk Chip? You can still do an interview without giving up all the details if need be. What do you mean?
She talking about Premiere.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there really isn't much to ask. I just wanted to know.
He's not even on the show. He could have just flashed a little dick or something and made us happy.
True T though, because I am aware of a little bit of what he's doing out there because he's very busy. I will give him that he's very busy. The job that he has him traveling. He's in California right now, I believe. I know that he is, very busy. That's one of the reasons I wanted him on here. I did have a question about that situation with Reese G and him and Antonio, but that was like and I wanted to ask him about Aubrey as well. Because I would love to have Aubrey on too, because I feel like we're showing him, but we're not getting a chance to see him. You ready, boo?
Y'all see, I'm okay with my do-rag. Like, I'm real. Y'all don't see me with my real hair over here.
Yes, I love the hair, baby. You giving me somebody.
This is very Whitney Houston. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody.
It's not long enough for I would have danced with somebody. How will I know? You can say, I know.
That's fam.
Listen, I had went too far this morning. I got excited with my Pat McGrath and I went too far. So it was doing a lot. And so I took it all off and restarted. And so.
Is that natural lighting? You got your window open?
Yeah, no, there
It
my
looks really
makeup.
nice.
My makeup lights on my vanity is dimmed some, but yeah, that's the only light on it.
You're serving, girl.
Thank
Yes.
you, boo. Thank
Just in
you.
case somebody wants to know, and I'm gonna tell you before I tell you, judge your mammy, don't judge me. Yes, I'm eating my peeps. I went and brought me about 3 good boxes. I'm gonna sit
Is
here.
it time for Easter yet?
Those are so nasty.
I love peas.
I'll be buying like $10 to $20 worth in one sitting. I did good with just buying 3
I
boxes.
can't eat
I
marshmallow things.
love peas, baby.
I hate that texture. I can't do the marshmallow thing. Anything marshmallow. Now in a s'more in an open fire, yes, God, but I can't do the peak things.
Okay. The last
Now,
time I
you-
saw
now,
my peas, the Boy
You know, a
Scout.
lot of people hate candy corn, but I actually like candy corn.
I
I
hate
like
candy
candy
corn.
corn too.
I hate candy corn.
I hated it as a kid, but when I got older and I started stealing the nieces and nephews'
I
Halloween
even
candy,
like circus peanuts. The little orange big circus peanuts. I even like those.
Those are good.
Thank
Those
you,
are-
little baby. That is very true.
Oh, wait, hold on. Quick story about candy. So, Jonathan Ford, this will interest you. When I was in the frat on the yard, and I was, back in the days when we could do some things and haze and stuff.
Mhm.
I had one pledge had to bring me a whole box of butter flavored after dinner mints. Not the other colors, only the yellow butter flavored after dinner mints. And there was one store that was like 40 miles away from campus that sold where you could buy a whole box of one color of after dinner mints, and I would make him go buy me 3 boxes of those because you got to give me 3. He had to go find. He didn't know where to find them from. He said, "Where am I going to find this from?" This back in the day where it wasn't no internet. Where it was in there, but there wasn't no Google and all that stuff.
You can just get on the phone and buy it or find out where they
Yeah,
at.
y'all keep on doing that haze and shit. Just get them. Kept one
That
drum.
Statute of limitation is over for my hazing adventure. Statute of limitation is over. So they can take me wherever they want to take me, baby. You get nothing for it. I beat you down. And
Y'all keep doing that haze and shit. Y'all see it's only 6 J sets at JSU because of the haze and shit. Y'all keep on with the haze and shit.
Yeah, there's a lot going on when it comes to that haze and shit.
I
Like,
mean,
people are really losing their lives.
in the 21st century, they should not be doing what we did back in the 20th century.
But we ain't as bad as those white boys though. The white fraternity
God.
But you know,
killing
white
everybody,
people
bitch.
Water till you die.
White
Y'all
people
remember
do
that?
it way worse. Yeah, Jonathan. It was just a little light, just a little light. It wasn't nothing too big, just a little light. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, you pulled the Diddy when he
know.
made them go out in the snow for a cheesecake.
Herman, there's only one way to go. You got it right the first time. There's only one way to go. She's right. There's nothing else to talk about. She's very right.
I never went to like university. I just went to community.
Jonathan is my frat brother. Jonathan is one of my frat brothers. So,
what fraternity you're from?
it's a non-hazing fraternity though. That was just something I decided to do on my own.
Okay.
My fraternity is a non-hazing organization. It is not sanctioned by the fraternity, and you could be expelled from said fraternity if you were to be caught in any said hazing events. This was just one black Negro to another black Negro saying, "Motherfucker, go and get me my motherfucking butter flavored after dinner mints." Okay.
I told you before the Diddy.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Belize, listen about that blue eye. See, this is
Belize, let me tell you something. I don't know you.
far.
I don't know you well, and you're always in the chats. But last night on El Teddy's girl,
What
Damn fool.
She was in character, straight character.
child, I was over. I was so through. Y'all had me getting my whole. I was like, work. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing my job. I said, child, yes, honey.
Clowning. Okay. Baby, every time Chef and Shay sat down and cocked open them legs,
I was like,
Yeah.
I was trying to blow my screen up. I was like, child, okay, what's T-shirt and shade?
me and T
I
was
will-
like, oh.
I woke up thinking about Chef this morning. I said, child, go
Very
ahead.
cute. Very
He
cute.
was.
Listen.
Very cute. I was so Teddy, when you were slurring, when you started slurring and slowing down your speech, I said, he's feeling that motherfucking drink. He is feeling that drink, child.
Because I had told It's Me D when we was backstage in the pre-show. I said, let me tell you something, It's Me D. I was already drinking during the interview. or the supposed interview we were supposed to have. On your live, I said I was drinking before that. I said, listen, and I had poured a heavy drink. He saw me pour that drink. I said, oh, if I get even halfway through this cup, oh, you can go ahead and cancel Christmas. One look, baby, I almost finished that cup.
Your wit, let me tell you, all of y'all, but your wit, when you were just reading and coming through, I was like, he got to catch. I hope you remember what you were saying. You got to catch your replay. You had me dying. I was so through.
Yeah.
Y'all are a mess.
That's like when I do a Book of Darkness live and I have to read somebody. When I be reading like that, I just black out. I don't even know what the hell I be saying. That shit just upchucks from my spirit and soul and just comes out. I don't even know. I be having to go back and watch my own fucking live and say, "Oh shit, you said that." Oh,
when you were like, we're at the bar. I felt like I was at a bar with y'all, like chilling, having drinks, shooting the shit, just like having good old laughs. I was y'all were oof, child, y'all have, and I loved. I'm a power bottom too, honey. You better give you the real tea. I'm a power bottom too. They better bring it.
Okay.
Me three.
Wait.
We got time for no soft shit over here, honey.
Okay to be a power bottom, but not as we call in my area, not a slap bottom. Slap bottoms are the one that don't even want to touch themselves and don't want you to touch them. We call them slap.
Oh no, you can tie me up. You can tie me up.
Well, how you go if you don't want to touch nothing? You don't.
Meaning
wait,
they don't
how that work?
They junk and they don't want. They're not gonna touch their junk. They don't want you to touch their junk. They want to imagine it's not there. And I'm not a part of that committee. Mine is there.
They basically pillow princesses, okay?
Child, I want you fucking my mouth with a dildo in my ass.
Yeah.
With my hands tied behind my back. Yes, God.
I'm clutching my imaginary pearl.
But it does depend on which multiple personality comes out in the evening. I don't know.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
My ass, slap my ass, let me call you down. That's what I'm into.
That, let me make
oh my God, bite me. Please bite me. That's what.
Just to make a word
for the meat coats on the sail with the boat. What you thought?
Already
get bailed out. Fuck the jailhouse and the V on the rocks is all we got as we sail out. Entrepreneurs, Crystal Cores, be glad we ain't taking yours. Boring, huh? Warning you, style waits for no bitch. A dream bitch when I fuck with strap. Ooh, girl, you can't tell about a little Kim Hardcore. That's when my freak comes out, honey.
Oh my.
I wasn't ready.
Right.
Yes, God, I remember.
That's what we do at LT. Wait a minute, hold on.
Fraternity in the world. Hermit, to answer your question, Kappa Alpha Psi is the only real fraternity in the world. These other garbage ass fraternities have honoraries and all kind of bullshit. We're the only.
I know you lying. Don't you ever disrespect Q's and SIDS.
Them motherfuckers.
I do have an academic question.
Let women in. Okay, let's not go down this road. Okay.
Hey, El Teddy, I do have a question for you. When these celebrities are getting honorary degrees, does that really certify them in that area? Or did they go to school for that, or
no? They call it most schools when they give out like an honorary doctorate. It's really not a doctorate. You're not supposed to call yourself at that point doctor anything because you're not a medical doctor and you have not earned a PhD or the equivalent, and you haven't done any dissertation, you haven't done any residencies or anything like that. And they call it a doctorate of humane letters. Doctorate of humane letters. And what that means is based on your community service and your work within the community and so forth and so on, we'd like to bestow this honorary degree on you. Right. However, that the caveat to that is you should know from then on, you don't roll around places calling yourself Dr. So-and-so.
Oh, okay.
At least you shouldn't. Now, I can call myself doctor in my last name because I am credentialed. I have written a dissertation. It is published. It's in the Library of Congress, and I have defended it. I have been hooded this May will make 13 years ago that I had a hooding ceremony credentialed.
He said what the fuck he said.
We're in the interview. We're in the interview. Welcome to the interview room, honey. Yes,
listen.
Yeah, I miss school, to be honest with you. College, not high school, but I do miss
college. So I went to college for 1 year. For my freshman year, and when I took the health exam for the insurance, the doctor told me, "You're having a baby."
Oh,
Oh wow.
And so I only spent one semester in the dorm. The first couple trimesters, like, it was rough on me because I had morning sickness day, evening, and night. It was not good.
Let me correct Hermit. No, he does not have an honorary doctorate. Shaq went to school at Baylor University in Miami, Florida, wrote his dissertation and defended. No, Shaq, he might have gotten an honorary from somewhere, but Shaq actually went back to school and earned his doctorate degree from Barry University in Miami, Florida, because he started doing it when he was playing for the Miami Heat. And he earned it. That's just like Shaq is a Mason. He's a Prince Hall Mason. I know because I am. He's a Q. He's a Prince Hall Mason, but he has an actual doctoral.
You sure they didn't just pass him because that speech he gave at Kobe Bryant's ceremony? I was like, girl, you couldn't practice.
To me, Shaq had the best speech. Now you might want to ask, did somebody else write his papers for him?
Probably.
All of that stuff you might connect.
He couldn't get up from the podium. I was like, someone must have wrote that for him, and he didn't read it before he came.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I love Shaq. He always in the community doing stuff with the kids and stuff. Like, I love me some Shaquille O'Neal though. I'm not gonna hate on him. He does more for the community than bitch Shawnee O'Neal does.
Yeah.
All Shawnee O'Neal good for now is getting the community high and making a profit off of it, which I'm not gonna hate on.
Bill Cosby. I think Bill Cosby has both. I think Bill
Cosby has an actual ED. ED. He has a doctoral degree in education. He does.
Do they have? Do you think? Do people have the power to strip that from you in situations like his?
They can take the honorary degree back.
They cannot take his not what he earned, not what he earned.
They can't take that away from him.
He was a highly intelligent man.
He was
probably why he got away with it for so many years.
You know, I spoke about this on my review for Life that I did this week.
Okay.
When you have a lot of those staunch Republicans that are black, you notice that they be the blackest of black folks, like they be real dark skinned, all of them. And they look down on the rest of us black people because they always say, nobody helped me. I helped myself. Nobody gave me anything. That's why I'm a Republican, because you people need to pull yourselves up, not knowing that had it not been, let me not get on my soapbox.
Come on, say it then. Let it be known.
I changed the title of this. I said we just talking, we just kicking it.
But I said that because in this week's episode of For Life, the guy, he was, in court, and there was a black judge, and it was one of them, he was real dark skinned black judge. But kind of the way that he talked down to him, especially the second time, the first time he talked down to him, it was deserved. But that second time he talked down to him, it really wasn't deserved. And he talked about where he went to school and whether or not, it was really like, disparaging and stuff like, and belittling. And it was like, it gave you a Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina tea, and Alan Keyes tea, who ran for president under the Republican Party, a Ben Carson type of feel. Well, you notice they always a Bill Cosby a couple years ago type of feel. They always be real disrespectful. They always talk down to people who they feel are less than them, that may not be as educated as them, that may not have what they think is the same pedigree as them. But most of their ass come from the slums and the most hood of the hoods.
You ever watch that show on Netflix, Better Call Saul?
Mm-hmm.
In that show, it's like the same thing. His brother was this like big time lawyer who went to like the best schools, and then his younger brother was a fuck up. But got him a job in the mailroom at his law firm, and then little did the older brother know that his younger fuck up brother was actually working, getting his law degree on the low. But he got it from some online schools, and he joined some part-time school that was of no name really. And then his brother got mad at him when he finally told him like, "Hey, I have a surprise for you. I got my shit together and I got my law degree." But his brother was like really kind of pissed, like, "What? Hold on, what? You want to become something that it took me all this time and went to the best schools for, and come to find out the younger brother was a better lawyer than his ass and was willing to do some shit." You feel me? So I feel it, child. It's the same thing.
To do that.
Yeah.
Don't listen. If you made it out, why are you so pressed and upset that I'm trying to make it out?
Yeah.
It's like you damned if you do, if you don't, with a lot of people, and that's what I absolutely hate.
You know, this morning I was watching Roland S. Martin's channel. Bernie Sanders was somewhere giving a speech in this church. It was really, really good. Not him, but the whole situation was really good. And I was in the chat and I just saw all of these people just filthy mouthed, just so divided in how they felt about everything. And I was like, girl, do y'all not realize this is exactly what the original formula was for, to conquer and divide the human spirit? Like, y'all don't realize y'all are in here being racist as fuck, talking all this shit, supporting Trump and his fuck shit. And it's just like, girl, like the more we are divided, the more these motherfuckers, the elitists win. These rich and powerful people that we swear that we hate, they're just going to continue dragging us to the filth with them. They want that for us. All this division, you know, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, all this separation. Like, girl, bye. Humanity is fucked. What are we going to leave for the kids, honey, if we can't get our shit together now? It's a mess. It's really
that foolishness. When they had that lunch and talk about somebody called your boy the first black president, I couldn't even stomach it. I didn't even click through the video. I said I can't.
Because I was like, I understand everybody's trying to say, oh, well, don't smash his dreams. Girl, you need money. Do you know what kind of money and support you need in order to even put your hat in the race to become a presidential candidate?
Who y'all talking about, Rod?
Oh, child, nobody takes him seriously.
I don't want to crush no one's dreams. Do your thing, but at least get into a local government situation first.
Okay. Run for mayor or something first. Like you put
councilman or something.
I appreciate being bitching, but
I don't care about your porn history. I never said anything about his porn. I don't care about that. What I care about is what experience and what coinage do you bring to the table?
What Donald Trump
doesn't mean shit.
Donald Trump was a poster child for why you need seasoned politicians in these type of positions. People complain all the time. I'm so sick of the seasoned politician. But at least we know these people know what the fuck to do. If I want the best chef, I want a seasoned chef, somebody who's been trained, they've been doing culinary, stuff all their lives. I don't want somebody that they never cooked before, but can tell me that they think they know the best recipe to come and cook for me. No, ma'am. No, God. I want somebody who is seasoned, trained, educated, and well-traveled and experienced. And that's why I never was of that opinion where people would say, oh, I'm so sick of the lifetime politicians always running. Well, who the hell else gonna run? Because I don't want your ass over there running nothing. You don't know nothing.
Unless your name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I would vote for her. If she ran in the next 5 years, I would definitely.
Watch this. Alexandria had to get herself in the arena too.
Yeah,
she decided to run for the highest, office in the
I think that's what she's prepping for now. She's been doing a lot of press here and there, and the way that she's coming around, I'm like, you're trying to build the momentum right now, girl. I understand. Do your thing, girl.
She will do a run at New York Senate to be one of the senators for New York, the U.S. senators for New. If she could make a run at that. And then let that but I don't know if she's gonna be able to do it from coming out of the House of Representatives. Like that's really hard. But I'd love
to get some more on her belt first.
Or if they do get a Democrat in there, if one of them gets her to be like a member of the cabinet, high-ranking secretaries or something like that, that might be good too.
Little baby is out of control.
Child.
The baby sound.
And I mean too, like let's be honest here. If you're gonna lay the groundwork, these people do deep dive backgrounds on your motherfucking ass. You have to ask yourself in the court of public opinion, can you win the people's hearts?
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for shows like Scandal that kind of break it all down. They will go dig deep into your back. Well, girl, I need light in this bitch. The sun is going down too quick for me, honey. Oh.
And the Lord said that there was light.
Child, and there was light, and the void was upon the girls.
Come on.
Oh, I know my Bible now. I talk shit, but I read that bitch twice. I went to a Christian academy.
Listen,
I had to write a whole paper on it before I could graduate high school. I had to write a whole damn paper about my thoughts on the Bible. They hated every minute of it, but they gave me a B on that bitch. Because I believe
You
that the
can't
Bible.
look. They couldn't do that with me because I'm not good at that. Like my senior paper that I was supposed to write for I think my civics class or whatever, or somebody Mahatma Gandhi. I wrote it. He gave us the assignment at the beginning of midterm. I wrote it the period before it was due. I guess I got to be on it. I'm just saying. I'm a procrastinator.
The night before submission was due, I crashed all night and did it. I worked better under pressure. All my papers in high school through my college, I haven't graduated yet, but through college, always like last minute. My professors be like, "Damn, bitch!" I'd be like, "Child, I can't do something way in advance like that." I know y'all tired, child. Y'all was up late last night, drunk.
Oh, you don't changed his sunglasses again, Jesus.
No, watch this. I got a quick real read. One of my biggest beatdowns was several of my worst beatdowns was because of my confrontations with the Bible being the Sunday school in Kojic. So the way they set us up at my church, the Sunday school teachers, they never left. They were there forever till they died. But what happened was they would get a class, and they would follow that class until that whole class. So they would get a class that would be like between 2 to 3 years in age range, and they would stay with them from the time they were in, all the way until they graduated high school. You had the same Sunday school teacher. So I had the Sunday school teacher, right? So whenever she would teach us stuff, if it didn't make sense for me, I would ask her. And my first question that didn't make sense to me was,
Mercedes is crazy.
Child, when the lady tried to tell us,
thank you.
So my Sunday school teacher went through the whole little Exodus coming out of Egypt and all of this stuff. And then she started to teach us about, how they went on the conquest to get the promised land, right? So I said, now wait a minute. Sister, I believe her name out of it. Sister blank. Now you told us that the 10 commandments is their most important laws, and 3 of their commandments say, "Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's possession." Isn't that what they did the whole way on to the promised land? So how God gonna tell them in one breath, you better do these 10 commandments before you do anything else? But in the next breath, he say, but it's okay for you to break these 3. Can you explain that? And she couldn't explain it. And
one of the things that
after that, she went after Sunday school, went and talked to my grandma and told my grandma that I had asked inappropriate questions that she couldn't answer. And I got beat damn near all night long for asking that lady. Because my grandma said I was not going to embarrass her in church.
In these Holy Ghost streets. You not finna have her out here in these Holy Ghost streets looking a mess because you don't know how to act in class.
But that's a legitimate question, though. That was a legitimate question.
First of all, can I just say, as the pastor's daughter, I wasn't paying attention to none of that bullshit any of them was talking about in class.
Let me ask y'all a question as a collective group. I'm sure we all have experience in the religious area, whether it's going to church, reading the Bible, being forced to go 7 days a week, child. Let me ask y'all this. I asked my pastor this question one time. I said, so Adam and Eve had 2 kids. Cain killed Abel. Where the rest of everybody else came from?
Hello.
They all incestuous. What you mean? It's all incestuous. What you mean? They always are related to each other.
I mean, the Bible don't mention no other kids, no other nothing. I'm just like, okay. And then what also gets me is that God is this compassionate being, which I totally believe. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. Yes, God. I love the Lord.
But every grown. Come on.
Every grown.
We wouldn't be his children if we didn't question, right? Because they say we are in his likeness. Ooh, come on, church. They say we are in his likeness.
Come on.
So when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we are God. We
We
are
are made in. We are fearfully and wonderfully made in His image.
in
Yes.
amen. But you know, in a sense, and on a spiritual level, they say we are in His likeness. We are of His image. We are cut from the fabric. Hallelujah.
Ha!
Of that, right? So
Great glory.
why would God continue to harden the Pharaoh's heart in the Moses situation? Because the Bible says that
Because man also he also gives you free will, and he gives
That's
you
right.
the freedom of choice.
But the thing about it is, though, in the Bible it says that the Pharaoh was willing to let them go
Until his raggedy ass wife said something, and then
Okay.
that was the hell.
God hardened his heart.
It did say God hardened his heart. It did say that.
So my thing is why, and he did it more than once. So why would you continue to harden his heart? I understand someone said, well, because he wanted to force the Jews to have to stand their ground. He wanted because he felt like if they were going to fight. But I was like, girl, you're God. You're this loving, compassionate being, right? Why would you continue to harden someone's heart and then kill everybody when the sea got flooded back again?
My second beating came when I asked the question, is God not watching?
What you say?
Second beating.
My second beating from church came when I asked her, well, isn't God the same great God, whether or not there was the story of creation in 6 days, or whether or not he caused the Big Bang, which caused all of this stuff to happen? It doesn't lessen who he is if it was evolution or creation. If he created it from the beginning, why is he less of a person?
Who said
Now,
he's
I
blessed?
truly believe that we are too complex of a design to be created by just nothingness. I do believe that if you really look at the universe, if you really look at people, you think this is not just from it can't just be just from atoms or the fucking the shit of the dust of whatever. We're too complex. This earth is too complex. I truly believe that God is real, but I question the validity of the Bible. I believe that the Bible, and I say this all the time in some of my lives when people ask me about religion, I say I believe the Bible was a social construct created to control the minds of the people at that time in life. Because when you think about it, English was not the first language. So that Bible was translated so many times throughout so many years. How do we know that this final version of it is real and not created to control the people of the times? Think about it. You don't like gays. We can't eat shrimp. You can't even be in the house with your wife for a period.
My third beating came when I asked, I said, Sister Blank Blank. Now, if I'm writing the story of my family and how my family came to be, and I'm writing the story of my own people, aren't I going to write that story to make it look advantageous to me and my people? Aren't I going to write the story, maybe add a little bit, take a little bit out, so as to make and paint me and my people in the best light, since I am writing the story about my own people? I'm just asking.
A little razzle dazzle.
I said, because some of this stuff is just unbelievable.
David and the Lion's Den, girl, that line would have ate your motherfucking ass up, bitch.
We ain't never gonna get the answer to that unless y'all the Pope in the Vatican. If y'all want that, y'all gonna have to go to the Vatican archives.
I don't even think
y'all know the Vatican, they got all of the lost chapters of the Bible. And I do believe there's some. I believe there's a lot, just like a lot of people were asking me, but they said, it's a whole missing part of the Bible where that's talking about nothing but the devil. They said, so why is it that in the Bible? How the hell I know? I don't know.
Well, that's because they had this group of people who King James commissioned called the canon, and they got to pick and choose which books that they felt they wanted to have in there.
See what I'm saying?
And the canon said, I like these books. I like that. I don't like that one. They even put it out of order. They didn't even put it in the right chronological order, which is why this shit is a goddamn mess anyway. But that's a story.
Can we all agree that religion predates politics and politics is birthed from the act of religion? all forms of social control and continued power throughout eons and eons. And the Bible promotes slavery. The Bible you can't in the book of Leviticus it says a husband can't even be in the same house as his wife when she's on her menstrual cycle, girl. So all of us will be burned.
That's because they don't want to be. That's because the nigga didn't want to be in the house with his wife, and so he threw that. And so he threw that in there.
Even the homosexual aspect of it. Everybody loves to quote the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, but we forget that it wasn't even the fact of homosexuality that was pissing God off. They were fucking children. They were fucking animals. They were doing the utmost. Mm-hmm. That wasn't the only thing that was pissing them off. So people love to pick and choose.
The disciples was gay too, baby. So that's why I tell people that all the time, baby. It was homosexuality back then because half of the damn disciples was gay. They was all messing around with each other.
My fourth and last
Jesus was out here saving hoes, child. True tea.
Right. My fourth and last beating from the Bible after I just got sick and tired of getting beat within inches of my life.
Should have been tired first.
That would have been enough for me.
I asked Sister Blank. I said, now, sister, I was in high school by this point. So I knew some things now. I said, Sister Blank. Sister Blank, I done took world history, and we've studied religions that predate what we know to be Judaism and so forth. And when we go back to some of the religions like the Kemet out of the African Horn, the Egyptians, and even some of the Southeast Asian, which predate the Judaism, why do their stories sound eerily similar to some of those stories of the creation and the flood and all that, as if it were retold just with, Judaic names and
when you look at the Bible too, it talks about things that are considered an abomination and cannot be in existence. So my thing is this, child, we still here, bitch.
Girl, listen. I was over all of that when I saw the Da Vinci Code and they was talking about Mary and Joseph had a whole nother child out there and this, that, and this. I said, Lord Jesus.
Mary and Joseph do got other children. Remember, Jesus had brothers.
I'm going with this.
He did.
He does have brothers and sisters.
Yeah, he does. He does. But so many
I'm not gonna go
so upset and offended and mad. They wanted to boycott it. They wanted people to shut it down. I said, y'all doing way too much, baby. Y'all doing way too much. When it comes to religion and politics, I choose not to talk about it on my channel because there's always gonna be some ignorant bitch in there with a whole bunch of ignorant comments, and then their comments go. I choose not to deal with it.
I don't talk about it because I think I'm gonna get beat for the fifth beating, and it was good.
You better motherfucker believe you gonna get beat.
The only reason I like to talk about it, the only reason I enjoy talking about it, and regardless, I think everybody again should have an opinion. Everybody should speak their minds, no matter if it's a popular opinion or unpopular opinion. Speak your piece, because at the end of the day, I know it's like a broken record. That's how we build the bridges of unity, and also gain some kind of understanding, because if it had not been for me stepping outside of myself, if I would have just continued to take those ass whoopings by my foster mom for not wanting to go to church, child, I wouldn't have learned something different, because before that, I really wasn't a believer because of all the shit I had been through. Life will test you. Amen. You'll go through some shit, and that's really the devil trying to take your faith away from you so you can become a servant of his later on in life. Amen. So I had to come back to the cross, and I did, but on my own free will, and because of my experience, because I was like, I'm still here. After all of this, I'm still here, so there has to be a God. I'm not dead yet. I haven't been in fucked up situations to where I can't return from. So I feel like if you let people come to it on their own, they'll be okay.
Right.
The Bible does says that all you're getting, you get an understanding. So,
but I still have questions because
people question me all the time. They say, "Well, if you're such a Christian, why do you have so many questions?" Because I do.
We're human.
Don't mean a damn. I still got questions.
Sister Blank died a few years ago, and I went down her funeral.
We still calling her Sister Blank.
I put her name out there, but
she dead. What gonna happen? She dead.
She is dead. But when Sister Blank died, her oldest daughter that was in the same class as me, she was like, I always secretly loved how you used to ask my mama them questions because we always knew you never raised your hand, but anytime you raised your hand in that Sunday school class,
It's
you would
about to go
set her
down.
off. And she was for the rest of the day gonna have her mind off of me and my brother and on you and have you getting beat down. So I was like, really, really whore. You were glad that I got beat down, you whore you. I ain't really care for her.
I can't say that I believe people are born gay, but I do believe it's a choice. Like me personally, even when I was a kid, when I was like 6, 7 years old, I knew then because I always had attraction to boys. Girls never really attracted me like that. I loved being friends with them, hanging out with them, kikiing and fooling around. But as far as what got my dick hard, it was always boys. You know, I've been with a couple of women just to say that I did. Because I know how some of y'all do. Well, how you know you don't like it if you ain't never tried? I tried it. It ain't for me. You know, okay? Because
I can say I ain't tried it and it ain't for me either.
See? So
I don't need to try it because I know it ain't for me. That ain't what I like.
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I just don't know. I just always knew what I liked. That's all. I don't speak for me.
It is.
I don't think it's a choice.
I'm going to say this, and this is controversial when I say this. I do feel that people are born gay.
And I'm leaving this up here this long for a reason. Go ahead.
I do think in the 21st century, there are a certain percentage of the gays out there that are in it because they feel like it's the it thing, and they might want to be contrarian, and they might want to be a part of what they think is the in thing. I cannot negate that there may not be a very small percentage that want to do that, but by and large, I do think because there are those of us who wholeheartedly, given the choice, probably I can't say that now because I love me and all my gayness,
right?
But back in my younger days, especially in those formative years, middle school, high school, and stuff like that, well, you really wrestling with the you know what I'm saying, with the rock in the world, especially if you deep in the church. They over there, you call it Jesus, 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 Jesus on the Terry on the altar all night long. You know what I'm saying? And and something my uncle taught me. My uncle, my uncle was gay, and he ended up being a world. I mean, he traveled the country as a prophet and stuff like that. And one thing he taught to me once I was grown, before he died, and he taught to me. He said, "If you are gay, you are gay." He said, and I believe wholeheartedly that God does not have a problem with that because he said, I've done everything in my power, tried, prayed, and everything, and it is still there. He said, I may not act on it. He said, I might not go and sleep with another man or different, but he said it never goes away. He said sometimes he would literally spend all night praying, saying, God, make sure don't, And he say when he do his prayer line, the very first person that comes up and gets in front of him for prayer is a carbon copy of everything that he could have dreamed of. And he would be like, God, why in the world are you? And he said he may not act on it, but he said it is still, he said it never goes away. And he said he was wholeheartedly, it's not something that you can say, oh, I'm just going to get delivered from that. It's a part of your DNA.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
you said a word. You said a word, because that's why I don't fuck with Miss Donnie McKirkland. I don't fuck with her. I don't fuck with nothing that she got going on.
Auntie Donnie.
I thank you for bringing that up. I hate that shit. But just like that boy Andrew Caldwell, he get on my nerves. I hate that shit. I just want everybody to live in their truth.
And even beyond living in your truth, but I just feel like this. If you, like my uncle said, it's always that he just chose not to act on it. And he told me right before he died, he said, I really chose not to act on it because I was trying to subject myself to the will of the people, because he knew that the church congregations and the people that he ministered to would not freely accept the word that he was giving them from God if they knew that he would, engage in those type of relationships. But if he had free and love who he wanted to, he would have just did that. But he said he would have had to have sacrificed the people in church really receiving what
word.
he had to give the word and what he had
I
to give.
get that.
Let me just say this real quick and just give my response to this question. If we're gonna lean on the understanding of religion here, let me take y'all to church real quick. They say that God, they say that God knows us before we know ourselves.
Hey.
We are foreseeing eons and eons ahead of destiny's schedule, correct? That's what
Yes.
they say. They say that before anything takes place, amen, before anything takes place, it's already set in stone.
And he is.
It's already set in stone. So if we're in 2020 and gays are still here, amen, that means it was already foretold.
Hey.
So in response to, do I feel like we are born gay? Yes, because we don't. Yes, we are. It's all everything going on right now. Anything 20, 30, 100,000 years in the future, it's already been spoken into existence.
Yep.
Already happened. So yes, I do feel like we are born gay. We are born gay. I believe that wholeheartedly. Before our parents know who we are.
I know who was a pastor.
Shall I tell you, I went to a Christian academy in high school.
I suck dick and and that's
let me tell you. You got to join the channel, honey. Let me tell you, because I talk about a plethora of topics. Religion and politics is definitely one of those. I went to a Christian academy in high school. I've read the Bible twice. I've written a paper or two for high school and in college about religion and being a social construct. I am really into that kind of stuff because I feel like religion and politics, once again, are the two things that has the power to separate, divide, and destroy, but it also has the power to create and add.
Yeah,
some type of positivity to your life, depending on who is wielding that kind of power.
But yeah, girl, Miss McKirkland, that's Miss McKirkland.
I can't stand that bitch either. That line.
I ain't fuck with Miss McKirkland since her and Kim Barrow tried to come for that.
Your question. That was a really good question.
With him then. No. He the biggest silent sissy of the pew that I've ever seen in my life. And I can't rock with that faggot ass bitch. I won't do it. I'm sorry to anybody that love him. I praised that to a couple of his songs before. But once I figured out who he really was, no.
I'm with you. Let me tell you something. What people don't realize, as long as we are of flesh, we are of sin. So guess what, bitch? I don't give a fuck how long you done went to church, how many praise dances you done did. 9 times out of 10, one of your kids or grandkids done got smashed in the choir closet. And everyone knows about it, but they don't talk about it.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows that church is white or black church is nothing but a fashion show. It's a basis of classism. Who has what on? Who's driving what car? Why the fuck does the pastor need a new Cadillac? Why does the pastor need a jet?
That's none of your business if you're not paying for it.
Can we discuss that for a second? Paying for it because what you don't
wait a minute. Hold on.
Not all of them.
Hold on.
Not your mama.
Let me be very clear. Okay, let me be very clear about this pastor shit. As a child of a pastor, as a grandchild of a pastor, let me be very clear because that's not in general. That's not what it is in general. Let me be very clear. Hold on. No, sir. Absolutely not. No, sir. That it is not most pastors. Listen. I understand that, but let me be very clear. Stop. Wait a minute. Stop. Let me get my statement out before you start shaking your head. It is not most pastors that are doing that. It is the few that get put on spotlight is the ones you see. So people normally assume they are the exception, not the rule. 90% of pastors who pastor a church have an actual job that they work. Pastoring is not their stop. Pastoring is not their job. And 90% of pastors don't take a salary from their church.
Mm-hmm.
And they're paying their tithes into the church to help with the other congregation.
Because
you gotta give me a second.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, let me be very clear. My father was an architect. That was his main job.
Yes,
he was also a pastor. And whatever car he bought never came from the church. It came from the job that he worked Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. On top of having another full-time job that was paying him pennies on the dollar to shepherd God's people. He did it out of his love for God and out of his love for the people. And that is 90% of those pastors. You are talking about the 10% who are the flashy ones who are getting all of the attention because they're doing shady shit. So 90% of the pastors, they're not doing that. And if you upset at what kind of car your pastor is driving, how
you're speaking from your experience with your pastor's background?
I'm experiencing from every church. How many churches I belong to? Do you know how many churches that I know intimately?
So you're going to really sit here and tell me that you're going to really sit here and tell me, you know, everybody, child, this is nothing weird. This is grown people having a conversation. Having rich community, honey. Yes, God.
I had a question. When you get done, I just got a question.
Okay. So from my experience, and again, I haven't been to every church, so I can't speak for every church, but I know the whole goal of religion, when people found out that it can be very profitable. And I'm not just talking about the TV stars that we see, the Creflo Dollars, the Eddie Longs, the Joel Osteen, the Paula Whites, all of those sorry motherfuckers. I'm not talking about just them. Even in the hood, even in the projects, if you got a church on every single corner, give to the budget fund. And 10 years from now, nothing is still done. Those are the people that I'm talking about. Your situation, you're speaking from a pure place. So I'm not talking about your experience in the churches that you've walked through. I'm just talking about there's probably more than just the 10%. There got to be way more out there. Because, and my whole point of all of this was, no matter what institution you go to, God is supposed to be in your heart. I can't go to a place that is going to shame you for trying to be who you are, shame you for what you're wearing, shame you for not giving your tithe and your offering. Because the Bible says, come as you are. I don't need to go to an institution to prove my faith to anybody. And a lot of these people are only building these institutions because, for one, they are great tax sheltered situations. They don't have to pay any damn taxes on the situation, and they're not doing the right by. That's the awareness that I wanted to bring to the situation. I wasn't trying to badmouth the pure side of people, because you got people that are really pure about it. They're walking with the Lord. They're doing it from the bottom of their heart. Those are not the people that I'm trying to disrespect. I'm trying to that are putting on a front that are trying to get your booty. They want your booty.
Get your booty.
I don't put a couple of pastors and bishops and elders and
I know sex traffic and drugs. A lot of people are using churches for those purposes.
Yeah,
and I understand that. I understand that wholeheartedly. But there are more people out there who are doing the right thing than are not. And it's always the ones that are doing the wrong things that get the spotlight. You see what I'm saying? They always the one, because people want to point a finger and be like, see, I told you they won't shit to begin with, blah, la, 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 and all of that stuff. It's always the ones who ain't doing right. And eventually they're going to get caught and put out there, because the Lord is not going to allow for that to go on but for so long before your covering is snatched from off of you and all of your shit get exposed. So if you doing the wrong thing, eventually all that shit gonna come out. Yeah, it's all gonna come out. But the thing is that the ones who are covered and are doing the right thing, they don't get the shine that the shady ones get. So the appearance of it looks like, all of y'all is just some shady motherfuckers, and all of y'all is doing wrong, and that's just not the case. It's more. I'm just saying there are more that are doing right than are doing this for nefarious reasons. The tax shelters, they trying to get the children's booty. All they just after money, because there are niggas that are like that, and you can see them.
The same way they're swindling these girls out of their retirements and these corporate buildings, so they're doing it in active religion too.
Absolutely.
Politics, religion, I feel, is just a round table for people for some certain people to come together. Let me clarify that, because Evie, to get me, girl.
It's so close. I have so many pastors that are in my family, and I don't
They're good
have
people,
not
and they really
I don't
do.
have not one man that's a pastor or woman that's a pastor in my family who doesn't have a 9-to-5 job to take care of their household. And then if they receive a salary, the pastor from my church just started. Our church was in existence for over 10 years before he even got a salary. Before they even started to pay him, and all of the bills were coming out of his pocket. But he was his job was a vice president of a pharmaceutical company. He was making millions of dollars, so he could cover all the church's bills without it being an issue.
That musician gonna be paid $3,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you now.
Okay, you better believe
You show up on Sunday, you ain't got no organ or no drums, and then what you?
And this was perfect because we gave you two sides of that topic. I gave you the corrupt version and how I feel about those particular kinds of people, and Ebby gave you the inside scoop on the genuineness and the wholeheartedness of people that actually walk in that life and that really are going to try their best to bring the souls to Jesus, honey. But you got some of these people out here, girl, they do not have your best interest at heart. They are wolves in sheep's clothing. Hallelujah. You have to be prepared for those kinds of things, and that's exactly why I stopped going to church a long time ago. I got
a question.
Okay, I'm sorry, Really B.
I got a question. Okay. So, can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Abby, don't jump on me. I just got a question. You said, shut up, El Teddy. You said that 90% of the pastors don't take a salary. Are you sure it's that high?
Not necessarily that don't take a salary, but what I'm saying is 90% of the pastors are doing it for a genuine reason. That they're not trying to swindle and do all of that. That is not necessarily that they, and just because you take a salary doesn't mean that you're trying to swindle the church. That is a fucking job. Because at 3 o'clock in the morning when Pookie got shot, who you fucking calling to the hospital to come pray with you? The pastor who got to get the fuck out of his bed.
Creflo Dollar has an ATM in his church, and he has an ATM in his church, and you have to file a tax form with him to show your income before you become a member.
I wish I would.
First of all, if you do that, you stupid. Listen,
okay.
You stupid. I wish the fuck I would, so you can be counting my money, talking about your ties don't match your W2, bitch. If you don't get out of my motherfucking pocket.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
Head or statement. Hey y'all. But this is controversial.
Oh wow.
He didn't say nothing yet.
Now, as much as people talk about the hate that the church has for the gays, the music ministry is majority gay. Let's just be honest. We talking choir director, minister of music, so forth.
Or there's a straight man who's a whore.
Can I finish my statement? Thank you, ma'am. Well, so I've been hearing rumblings these rumblings have been going on for decades now about the fact that the highest paid part of the church is the music industry. The people who do get the lion's share of the tithes and offering is the minister of music, along with maybe the choir director, the drummers, and the other musicians, praise team. And so
the singers don't get paid.
It depends on what church you in, because that praise team, I ain't saying all the choir.
I get paid.
I know some churches where the praise team get broke off every Sunday. I'm telling you. But
10 years, not a dime.
My point is, I was in the praise team for many years and not got broke off.
And I ain't get paid jack.
I ain't got paid a dime yet.
But my point is,
you're a Catholic, so I don't know about none of this shit.
Yeah. If the gays are getting the lion's share of these monies, do you think that they should take that money if it comes with the backlash that goes along with being subjected to the venom, vitriol, and all kinds of other fucktitude that comes from the pulpit? And then on the other side of the coin, can you truly say how much of an abomination we are? But because see, if you tried to call me an abomination, I would show the receipt from the last payment you gave me last week. Said if I'm that much of an abomination, why I'm making more money than you? Abomination what? So I mean, it's that to me that's always been like a very not spoken of part of what goes on in said churches, but y'all, the girls be getting broke off. Now I know.
Some churches.
My thing is this. Isn't that indicative of all parts of society from the point of view of Kim Burrell will get on stage and talk about the gays, but I bet you that's who did her hair. Wendy Williams will talk about the gays, and I bet you that's who styled her. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of hypocrisy.
That's basically, listen, I made the same point a long time ago about how Abby, I ain't got time for some, very few, a slim church who sit up and won't go in and have on the gay people, but you don't mind, hiring the gay choir director because he gonna have your choir beat, honey. They gonna sing you under the benches, so he get a pass. Or he could play a hammer real good, baby. He'll play the hammer so good you slang. He's an exception, but they're still up and completely slander the gays. But because they're getting paid for it, they'll still volunteer their services. Me, I never went to a church like that. Both of my churches, I will say, those two pastors never harped or made any type of reference about homosexuality ever.
Mine either.
The church that I found religion at, I grew up in it. My foster parent, she was the choir director, and I was in the choir, blah blah blah. Learned a lot, loved it. So when I aged out of foster care, but before I aged out of foster care, I moved away from that family. But when I turned 18, I was like, child, I want to go back to this church, and I want to get saved. Okay, so I went back to this church. And I had the spirit, honey.
Who went to that church that was cute? That had you going over there to get saved?
Oh. Yeah. When we go backstage, it's actually a cute story, but I'm not going to put it on here. But when we get a backstage moment, I will definitely tell you that story. You're gonna be like, damn, that's what's up. Then destiny has a way to getting a hold of you. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. So when I went back to this church, I had the spirit, honey. I was really in it. I felt renewed, like I was catching the Holy Ghost and everything. I was feeling it. The mother of the church knew her for a long time, so she already knew the tea. There was no hiding the tea. Okay, like for real. So she whispers in my ear, the spirit is telling me you got to stop with the gay stuff. You got to stop with the gay stuff. This homosexual lifestyle is going to lead you down to a wrong path. The spirit of the Lord paused. Hallelujah. The spirit said, pause yourself. I paused. Okay. The spirit really whispered to me because I was in it to win it. I was like, yes, God. I was in my shit. Okay. I was in it. And when she whispered that to me, I just stopped and I looked at her and I said, you fucked this up for me, bitch. And I turned around and walked away, got in my car and got the fuck on, never turned back. Fuck you, bitch. Don't be trying to comfort. I told that bitch. She looked at me with surprise, like, I said, yeah, fuck you, bitch. You just fucked this all up for me. And I just turned around and walked away. So some people, even I don't know what the intention is behind most of these motherfuckers. But again, maybe I have some PTSD and that's why my feelings for it is so strong. But it's just like, girl, I still love the Lord. He heard my cry, but I don't have to go to these places. Where are you about? The presence of the Lord is a stronghold, honey. You should be able to go to a church, honey, and feel like the safest person in the world. But you can't do that.
The Lord is a strong tower.
Okay.
Run into.
Pause. KK. No, ma'am. That's not what we doing.
What
no,
KK said?
What happened?
No, ma'am. That's not what we finna do. We not finna slander first ladies and women that go to church. KK. No, ma'am.
I don't believe that, KK. I don't. I honestly but
again, I'm not going to generalize here, but you do have specific places where that could be perceived that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we can't generalize it, though. We're not going to generalize it.
Absolutely. Listen.
That's how I know the Lord don't want me to be a first lady, because I can't do too much of that, like that generalization shit.
Yeah.
And you got to be nice to a bunch of people, because if you fucking with me, I'm gonna cuss you. Let me be very clear about what's gonna happen to you. Probably right in front of the pulpit. I'm going to you come because I don't do that fake shit. All that fake. Like my cousin is our first lady of our church. My cousin Kim is the first lady of our church, and I see so much fake shit thrown at her. People smiling in her face, and then you go around the corner and hear them talking about her like a dog. I be done cuss every single one of them bitches. Don't come. Oh, first lady, what can I do? Fuck you. You can get the fuck out my face, bitch. That's what you can do for me. Listen, that's not my ministry. The Lord has. I don't have that heart.
Oh, little baby.
I don't have it.
Is this directed at the conversation that I have?
Hey, listen. I listen. I feel like this. That's just the thing for me. I don't even allow anybody to just lay hands on me.
You're damn right.
I can't do
I
it.
mean, if you kill it, you lay your hands on me.
No, you can't.
Let me be very listen. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. If someone comes up to you with a word from the Lord, it should be a confirmation of what the Lord has already told you.
Thank you.
It should not be some shit to be like, well, where the fuck did that come out? The Lord ain't because I would be very fast to say, well, the Lord ain't confirmed none of that in my spirit.
Oh, and another cute part to that story. Let me add this, because I don't give a fuck and I'm going to keep it real. Come to find out, that pastor is one of the girls and has been all his life, like a Donnie McClurkin. His son and his daughters are both his son is of the spectrum, and his daughter was caught having all kinds of whore sex in middle school, honey. So don't put that spirit on me, man.
Is that different from regular sex? What's going on?
Jonathan, when you say his fashions, what do you mean by his fashions? Like, I mean, unless he's coming into the church,
his pants skin tight, because that's them fitted suits. That one elder, I had to tap him on the shoulder. I was like, "Baby, if I keep out the sperm in your nutsack, your pants are too tight."
You probably just missed that whole speech that I gave. The Bible says, "Come as you are." So if I come in there dressed,
I don't need that. Come as you are. If you ain't got it. Just come. I think they were saying, listen, if you ain't got a baby, just come as you are. But
once you after a while, you know that. After a while, you know.
Okay.
If you just come in and that's all you got, then absolutely.
The Lord is not going to overlook you. You are no less than in His eyes because you are wearing less than or you choose to dress a certain way. The fact that you came into the house of the Lord looking for some type of spiritual experience should be acceptance enough. So what you're wearing, what you look like, if you're wearing makeup, skinny, it doesn't matter.
Okay, wait a minute. That you are correct. Yes, bitch, when you are a lay person. When you are in leadership in the church, it is a different level of thing that you have to deal with. And well, okay, you don't have to.
Ain't no
when you think about it, when Jesus was walking earth, he was in rags, girl. He gathered the multitudes. He gathered the multitudes. Let me say this real quick, though, real quick. Let me make a point of this. Let me make a point of this real quick. Jesus gathered the multitudes. You had people following this man, willing to give up their lives for this man. He was dressed in rags with bare feet.
He was out in the streets. He wasn't in the church either.
Right. Well, Jonathan, this is what you just said.
Right, but y'all gotta understand the reasoning behind Jonathan wanting to say anything to the young man, because he's trying to protect him. He's trying to be a shield for that young man. Because even though he as the pastor don't have a problem with it. That's how you protect him. No,
you tell him to continue to be yourself. Thank you for coming to the house of the Lord.
But that's not gonna stop Mother Henry from coming up to this
man and saying something ugly. She can go eat a dick too.
First of all, you cannot tell the mother of the church to eat. You went too far. And now you got to fight me in the parking lot because you told my grandma.
Because let me tell you something. I just
dressed in a certain way.
I just want to get this out since we have a lot of inquiring minds in here about the church experience and giving their own experiences as well. I do just want to say this. We have, I always say this, and I know again I sound like I'm beating a dead horse. We forget we are here for service.
No, Joyce.
That is it.
We are
here for service. We are not here for fashion shows. We are not here to judge you based on how you look, how you act, how we assume you to be. When
that
you step into the house of the Lord, we forgot what the original intention was. The original intention is to save souls.
No matter.
It is.
But some souls are not going to be saved because they're distracted by the young man on the piano.
Someone brought up a good question.
He was not connected.
Catch this tea. Catch this tea, though. Catch this tea. So when Adam and Eve, guess what pissed God off the most? When Adam and Eve discovered that they were naked.
Why was that when she bit that apple?
And then they discovered they were naked. But God was really pissed though that they discovered they were naked.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
I got a question.
What?
So
I love this. Yes, God.
I grew up Catholic and we could wear whatever we wanted, so I don't understand.
But here's
I guarantee
when you're in leadership, you can't just wear anything.
Yeah.
I can only hear one person at a time.
The priest is wearing full garb. He's got robes and everything.
The deacons, the altar boys, all of
stuff on.
Yeah.
That's a uniform. That's a uniform.
We're talking about. We're not talking about.
Wait a minute. Hold up. But underneath that, they had jeans and a t-shirt on.
But we couldn't see that.
You couldn't see it.
So I don't understand what the issue is. If I wear jeans,
listen. Let me each denomination has their own doctrine. Just like I'm Baptist. So the women in the church, they can wear pants, they can wear makeup, this, that, and this. But when you go to Kojic churches, they don't allow the women to wear jeans and stuff like that. Not all. A couple of the ones that I went to, and we had to sing at, our choir director made it perfectly clear. He said, ladies, wear minimum makeup and make sure you wear skirts or dresses, because their doctrine, they don't allow the women to wear anything but skirts or dresses. They don't like.
The other part about it is this.
So everybody is different. Some churches allow, other churches don't.
To answer Jonathan's question, if he's on the payroll and you all are paying him, this is
a job, and he has to.
And as an employer, you can say your uniform, our dress code here is that you wear such and such.
Right.
And that's the end of that story. Now,
Right.
if you want to feel the spirit and come as you are and not have no responsibilities, you can go sit down there and pay a dime and give us your tithe and offering. And baby, you can wear whatever you want to wear. But if you are on said payroll and we are paying you and you're going to be up here in the pulpit, you're going to have the dress code just like at your regular job, your 9 to 5.
Yeah, that I understand.
That's what we're saying, because
I get what you're saying.
A check from the church. He is an employee of the church. Then you can say, because you are an employee at this time.
That's a different reason, though. That's because you're an employee and there's a dress code.
Absolutely.
That's different.
But I'm saying,
I understand what you're saying. Really, people, everybody's different.
On the praise team, I don't collect a church check from the church. However, I just can't wear anything.
Right.
You can stand up on the stage in front of all of those people and just have anything on. I can't have my ass out standing up on the stage and all of my titties out standing up.
I understand that. That I understand. I understand that.
For a young man. That's what
you're telling me. You wouldn't take a person.
Each church has their own doctrine. That's the only thing I could tell you. They have their own doctrine. They have their belief. Some people, they don't believe in women wearing pants and makeup. Some other people, it don't pay them. Don't never mind. Just as long as you ain't looking like a hoochie mama, hood rat, hoochie mama.
Yeah, because when I went to the holiness church, I know they don't no makeup. You know, had to wear a dress, had to wear stockings. Like I knew what the rules were. I followed them because I wasn't gonna be disrespectful. But I just don't see the big deal.
Yeah, me neither. And
You know,
me being Baptist, I never understood it either. But like you said, to be respectful, to respect their
Yeah, I would
house.
be respectful. Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
when I
Yeah.
was Facebook had this video going on, I believe sometime last year, of this guy who was the owner and pastor of this church, and I forget what country it was in, but he did an experiment where he dressed up basically like a homeless person. He put dirt on himself. He sat out in the front of his church begging for food and change, and none of his members, all his members walked by him, paid him dust.
Mm.
So as church is getting settled in, he walks into the church and goes straight up to the podium, grabs the mic from the secondary bishop or whoever, and they're trying to wrestle him and escort him out of the church. He takes off his disguise, and they're all like, "Oh wow!" So that goes to show again, we're here for service. We want to judge people based on what they have on. I understand that we're in the modern times where we don't live in those times where people just had rags and stuff like that. But when we are assuming things about people, again, I'm not taking away from your conversation, but I do want to just keep adding this in there, is that we keep forgetting that you can be blessed by someone who has way less than you.
Yeah.
Someone can touch you who may not represent or come from what you would consider to be a blessed space. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want people to take away from this conversation ultimately, is do not judge nobody. If we're really going to be true followers of the Bible and of the religion itself, we forget the fundamental basics of it, which is service, doing for your fellow man, regardless of what they look like, how they sound, what they're dressing like, their sexuality. None of that should matter today, because guess what? We all will be judged accordingly when Miss Glory calls us. And if you let some seers that I have listened to, people who are really deep into this stuff, 95% of humanity will not make it into heaven. So be mindful of who you are following.
Well, how do you know who's right? With all of the denominations and all of the religions, how do you know who's right?
And the Bible speaks about there being only one church, and that is the church of God. Only one religion. But all these religions are out here free. God says only serve him and no one above him, correct? If so, it's an abomination. Abominations cannot be in existence. So the fact that things are still alive today and still in existence walking this planet that were supposed abominations in the Bible, obviously there's a reason. Adversity creates strength. Adversity, I believe, is one. Look at the Bible. Everything in the Bible forces us to face adversity at its darkest moments.
Mm-hmm.
The Old Testament and the New Testament. So no one is perfect. These pastors, these preachers, everyone is denying people access to their services. They need to go back to the basics then. Because if I was a pastor, now you got these online churches now premiering on media sites where the pastors are just dressed in shirts and jeans, and they're gathering multitudes, way more than any other church. And these are smaller churches. The Journey churches, I don't know if you've heard of them, but most of them are doing really well, and they're doing a lot of things online.
But the
They're
reason
gaining the followers of the young people.
Is because the reason that some of them are doing so well is because they've lowered the bar in certain areas, and because let's just be honest, the 21st century human being doesn't want a whole lot of rules, doesn't want a lot of constructs, doesn't want to have to walk the straight and narrow. And so you are going to get a lot more people that saying, well, I ain't got to do that, I ain't got to do that, I ain't got to do that. Well, I'm going on over there because it's much easier. That's the same thing that I could have said about hazing and stuff like that back in the day. You know, you had some, and I'll say this to
and hold on real quick, Teddy. I'm sorry. Let me just address this real quick. I apologize for jumping in on you real quick, because this finishes off what I was just saying earlier. The Bible, the saying "comes as you are" isn't about what you wear. That phrase means "come as you may be broken, confused, hurt, or whatever your state of mind, and leave healed." Let me say this. Being broken can come as a sign of what you're wearing as well. When you see a homeless person on the side of the road and they're in rags, they have cuts and bruises, that is a sign that they are broken. They are confused, they are hurt, their state of mind is all fucked. So when they go into your church, do not turn them away. Help heal them. Fix them if they are broken. Bring clarity to their confusion. Okay, El Teddy, go ahead.
I don't even remember that. What I was saying.
I'm sorry, my bad. My
All
bad.
right. All right.
This was really nice.
Amen. Amen.
All right.
Well, that was an interesting conversation. See what happens when you talk about politics and religion.
No, this is exactly why I love it, because you're going to get different points of view. You're going to get wide range perspectives, and I love it. And we don't have to agree on anything. At the end of the day, I want people ourselves, because we're grown, we're standing in ourselves. We know who we are. That's why we're YouTubers. That's why we put ourselves out here, because we know who we are. So at the end of the day, when we know who we are, and all different people from different sides, everything come together, that's what it's about. That's how we build bridges of unity, by having these conversations. And the people in the chat, you know, like Jonathan has questions about things like this, and other people are sharing their experiences too. That's how we move forward. YouTube doesn't just have to be about drama and foolishness. Yeah, it's fun and, you know, gagging and shitting on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But it can be a learning experience as well, and having a shared point of view, whether how indifferent it is, that's how we add to the human experience in a positive way.
And I like you, Jonathan. I'm gonna have to come to your church. You better have some power, though. Either you better have some power, or your
I need discounts on all fish plates.
Your praise team better have some power, because I'm coming to get slain.
Discounts on all fish and grit plates, please. Because I was hungry for some fish and grits last night, child. Y'all had me hungry for some fish and grits, Chef and Shay.
Don't do Chef and Shay like that. I'll windmill you in these streets about Chef and Shay.
Was Chef and Shay? Wait, I missed it.
No, I was saying that I want some fish and grits, because y'all have me hungry.
Anthrax waiting for you. A vial of anthrax.
Let me tell you something. I was like, child, they finna cut his channel off. You can't be around here telling the girls you finna throw anthrax at them.
Child, I do it on my own channel all the time.
Now, maybe if it was the coronavirus,
listen, don't do that.
Stay away from Florida coronavirus. We don't need you, child. Stay away.
Let me tell you the most ignorant shit I heard about the coronavirus so far. This ignorant bitch got up on Facebook and said, and I quote, "I'm just not gonna eat Chinese food until this coronavirus situation is taken care of."
Wow.
Bitch, what they got to do? The fuck? Listen, and I'm trying to be nice because I'm related to the person who said it. And so
they don't want the corona. They're stopping. They're not corona. They're seeing a drop in stocks because people don't want to drink coronas because they
Listen, I said, well, wait. I said, wait, you are aware that the coronavirus is in China, not Chinese food. You know, one has nothing to do with the. You're aware that that's not how. They don't go. Girl, here is the point, and here this is the point, and here you just missed it. You just missed it. Says what happened. And she was like, well, I just don't want to take any chances. I said, you are aware that the people serving your food probably from New Jersey and not China, bitch. What you talking about? Ain't never been to China. They get their groceries to make the Chinese food from the food line down the street, bitch. What is you talking about?
You had the same thing I told on my live last week when I was talking about, my foster parents didn't want me eating bananas because it looked like I was eating dick.
No, don't
eat
bananas.
Got some ignorant hoes out there.
Bananas are nasty. Don't eat them for that reason.
Hey, bananas are great. Bananas.
Yeah, I love bananas.
High in potassium. They're really healthy for your gut.
Bananas.
They're really healthy.
Bananas
perfect for digestion. High in fiber. Really healthy.
I want nothing with bananas ever.
No bananas.
I love bananas.
Not at all.
I eat bananas all the time.
Who really be? You ever just get a spoon of peanut butter and just cut banana?
I don't do no peanut butter banana. I don't like peanut butter banana. Sorry.
I don't want no banana. I don't want no oatmeal. I don't want no cream of wheat. None of it.
Cream of wheat?
No bananas, no oatmeals, no cream of wheat. None of it.
No, I love bananas.
No, I'm not doing that.
Me too.
Now you can't eat a lot.
I don't like the smell of it. I don't. This mush. Oh God.
Perfect for smoothies. Love it. Very healthy.
I never believe the bananas.
Bananas is something.
And believe it or not, the banana was actually at fear for being extinct recently.
They should have been extinct.
It was hit with the nasty
What
fungus.
we eat is not real bananas. Those are manufactured by human beings. Those are not real.
Well, think about this. Another good topic. The Earth has been around for billions of years. We're running out of resources. So think about it. The past 50 to 100 years, have we been really been eating real food?
I mean, you forgot.
I don't care. It tastes good, and it's just
deep fried and smothered in chocolate, honey. Yeah.
I mean, most of what we eat is not real. It's been manufactured or created in a lab. And stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Most people who are vegan think that they're eating natural stuff. Most of the vegetables we eat are not natural vegetables. They do not.
Yeah, I didn't know that broccoli was actually a crossbreed. It was
exactly just like chicken.
Yeah.
The chicken
I didn't know that.
Is not a natural animal. It's a adaptation of the pecking fowl that was bred to make chickens for to lay eggs. Because
that's why I don't eat chicken nuggets.
And so that's why because those types of chickens can lay eggs at a faster rate than the pecking fowl. So that's why they bred them in order that form of chicken.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am, Miss Joyce. This is great value water, and it's good. Bless God. I don't know. It's water. Hell, it could be water from the tap. I'm thirsty.
I can only do purified. I can only do purified water.
I don't like
I'm like sorry, y'all sedating it.
If I get bottled water, it has to be spring. I don't like the purified.
I can't drink spring.
The purified tastes too metally. Like I can taste the stuff that they put in the purified. But the spring water, I'm here for the spring water, not that purified mess.
I can't do either. My only brand is you always see me with the jar. I know I'm not a jar, but a jug. This is the only brand that I buy, and I drink one of these every day. Purified tastes so good to me. I can't do spring water.
Oh, I like alkaline water if I can get it.
That's delicious too.
That
new shit that they came out with, that Ozio shit or whatever, that tastes pretty good. But I'm not paying $5 for no damn bottle of water. Y'all sure. This is 89 cents at Publix, child. I get 7.
Come on, Joyce. Great value water. My great value purified water. That's right. Because if I listen, okay. I'm trying to get back to my fighting weight.
Oh wait.
I don't fight, so I don't got no fighting weight.
Cause I put this skirt on today, and I was like, "Ooh God, I ain't got no foundational garment, so all of my situations is doing a lot today."
I don't fight either. Y'all know what I do.
All right, guys. I want to go backstage.
Shawana said spring water tastes like dirt.
I wanted to tell Teddy this story, right? But I don't want to do it online. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say on live before we go backstage?
No, I enjoyed the conversation.
Okay.
Me too. Listen, and I just wanted to wait before we go. I just wanted to let it be said. I don't care if chicken is not real. It tastes good, and that's my shit. So fuck what you heard. All hearts and minds are clear.
I'm learning from y'all. So before we leave, if you guys have another device, put it I guess God in the chat so people can easily click on your situation, go over there, like, comment, subscribe to everybody, guys. Thank you, giving you the real tea. If you haven't done so by now, make sure you guys are liking, commenting, subscribing to everything that he has going on. El Teddy 27 official, appreciate you as always, honey. Y'all please make sure to go over to his channel as well, like, comment, subscribe. Really Big TV, yes God, honey, coming through with the
titty bounce. Come on, that can't nobody see. And that
had a good night, honey.
We not finna
Someone
do that.
had a good night. She has is that a lollipop? What is that?
It's a.
Okay, I about to say lollipop. Lollipop.
Shawnette said, "Are you going live? Really, B? Are you going live?
Yeah, I'm gonna go live later on today.
Later on tonight, you want
to go live? Yeah, because I saw something that came across my phone, and I need to discuss.
And, any other? Everybody follow Ebby Reviews as well, honey. Yes, God. A great conversation today. Anything else anybody got to say? Something to say to the people? Any announcements? Anything?
No, I don't think I'm gonna try not to go live tomorrow.
One announcement to all the T-subs. I'm going to get Sky's fuck ass together. I don't know if it's going to be tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow, but I'll wait because I know some of y'all going to church. I don't want y'all. I don't want to mess up my whole idea.
Sky from Chasing
Come as you
Atlanta?
are. Come as you
Not
are.
from Chasing Atlanta?
Sky from Black King Crew, girl.
What she do?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that bitch.
Oh, you
together.
didn't hear what she told the child? I should have swallowed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's dealing with mental illness, so she
No.
We can't blame everything on mental illness.
I
No.
went off on that bitch last night.
I don't even know
I don't
her,
have
and no
to
ma'am,
her.
no ma'am.
All the things that she was saying.
I don't think it's so much blaming stuff on mental illness. It is what it is. I've dealt with it in my family, and mental illness is mental illness. It is what it is. I'm just saying.
I'm going off on that bitch, T-Subs.
I mean,
Let you watch out for them notifications, okay?
do you boo? I be over there. Shit, I be over there.
That sounds real cereal. Real cereal.
Yeah, I be over there, boo. Hey.
I don't watch.
Something. Yeah.
I don't watch that mess, so I don't know.
All right,
I
guys.
don't
Thank
watch
you
it
for joining
either.
us. Thank you for coming on, everybody. I really appreciate it. We're going to go backstage real quick and just give this quick story to the chat. Thank you guys so much. All people that contributed to the conversation. I really appreciate it. Yet again, we are here to serve, honey. Yes, God. Thank you for joining Yes Bitch TV, honey. Oh, shit.